You know, it's kind of like the Gardners. I mean, all of this to me, to us, to Katie and I, it's all about people. Everything we do is about people. You know, you buy your bulls from the right people. You know, when we, you know, I mentioned this at another meeting a while back. We had wanted to be a U.S. premium beef unit holder for a long time. Frankly, when early on, we didn't have the quality of cattle that really would fit the program. So we had to get up to speed. But I heard Brian Burleson do a talk in Oklahoma probably 10 years ago. And boy, you know, he had a vision, and he communicated the USPB vision that, you know, I was probably one of 50 in the audience, and you always wonder when you give a talk who's listening. Boy, it lit a fire under us. And I came back and I said, Katie, we've got to make changes. And the interesting thing is Brian's still there, Steve Hunt's still there, Bill Miller. I mean, you just go look at all the people, they're still there, you know, from inception virtually. Man, that's stability, you know. I've been at the meetings, and I mean, you know, their passion is just evident. You know, when we became unit holders a while back, you know, we've been to a couple of meetings, and again, when you're around these people, they're the kind of people you want to be associated with. When you hear the national guys make their presentation, they're just as passionate. I mean, it's fun. It's the kind of guys you like to sit down and have a beer with, because I mean, they are driven. I mean, you can tell, and it makes you feel good, because we're sitting here in Woodville, Mississippi, and it's a long way from conception to consumption, and everything we do is focused on that end product. And we know USP Premium Beef has our interest at heart. We love the vertical integration. I mean, we're trying to capture value every place we can, and we know that the national guys are getting the product out to the retailers that are going to ultimately sell our product. And so, you know, I just think it's, I mean, it's just imperative to be aligned with people of like-minded interest that are, you know, that are passionate as we are. If we're out there pulling the calf at 2 o'clock in the morning when it's 30 degrees, which is cold for Mississippi, you know, we want someone caring as much as we do, you know, a year and a half later. And you know, that's what our perception is. It was really interesting.
Well, it's scary at first.
Yeah.
You know, you take that calf. You were used to selling at weaning, and you know, your whole financial thing is structured on this. And then one year you decide, okay, we're not selling those calves now. We're going to keep them through April, and we're going to put them in the feedlot, and let's see how they do. And that's just like an, oh my heavens, what have we done moment. It just
intimidating.
It's intimidating. It's stressful. But then you know, let's find out what we're truly doing. You know,
and we did.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned to you, you know, we sold to some people who had bought our calves a lot, and they looked nice. But they were, the first year I think we were maybe about 40% choice. The next year we were about 20% choice. I mean, we were not doing good, you know, and that's fine. We had to know, and that was my whole thing, is how can I, if we don't retain ownership and really know what we're doing, how are we going to ever, even if we sell at weaning, negotiate with a buyer that knows more about our calves than we do? So we weren't, you know, we were averaging in the 30% choice range. Send it out to Mark, said, Mark, help, what do we do? So we started retaining the heifers to breed. I mean, it's just been a grind. But again, about the third year, you know, when we had made a bunch of changes and we finally got these quarter bloods bred.
So we're feeding an eighth blood. We kept the quarter bloods were the first calves that we sent and that didn't do as well. And then when we took the quarter blood and put the Angus bull on them, the eighth blood, that's when we started seeing this a little bit progression and improvement.
And frankly, within the breed, you'd still see a lot of the calves that were quarters that would do fine. We just had to identify them, which she's so good at keeping records. Well, the last 2 years, we've been, you know, 95% plus choice, and I think we were CAB and prime. We were, you know, just under 60%, 57, 58% CAB and prime. So, you know, we've really made headway now. We didn't just go from 30% choice to, but we started seeing progress that got us excited. You know, we got up where we were hitting 50 and 60% choice, and then we just really, and now we are really just on the cusp because we're starting to breed a bunch of daughters that are AI sired. So we're starting to stack some genetics, and you know, all this sounds good, but really, to me, I mean, you know, if we're, you know, we earned, you know, I don't know, last year $75, $80 premium on the USPB grid, and that's nice. But I mean, I got friends that are doing 100 plus, you know. I got friends doing 20% prime, you know, 100% choice. So we know we can do better, and we'll never be satisfied. So, you know, I mean, that's kind of the exciting things. You know, with Katie's good record keeping, what's neat is to see, you know, to identify. Fortunately, now we have much fewer outliers. You know, I mean, we've got you know, with all the cattle we have, I think we've identified just a couple of cows that are, you know, have consistently produced select calves, and that's, I mean, you know, we've come a long way, and we're not going to make a decision on one breeding because besides AI, and we'll use multiple sire and cleanup, so we don't want to fault a cow for, you know, for an issue. But if we have a select and a small ribeye, we try to give them a couple of chances to really find out if we have issues. But a couple of years of selects, then we know, you know, we got a cow issue. But we are now, I mean, consistently doing 95% plus choice. I mean, that's a given. But we know we can do better on CAB. I mean, I want to get up there in the 90s in CAB, and then I want to do better, you know. So we've really kind of, we're on the right track, put it that way.
When we made our visit in 1999 and went to the ranch, and like I said, Henry and everybody were just so nice and spent so much time with us and everything, and we were just really impressed with what they were doing and what we saw. And so that's we started using the Gardner bulls, and it from that point, you know, we know that was the right decision because it's just so many things that.
But when you ask why Gardner, you know, integrity is 1, integrity is 2, integrity is 3. From there, then you start talking about animals. And you know what I alluded to earlier, man, this business is all about relationships. And, you know, everybody's your friend is going good, but when you have problems, you need to be dealing with people that'll stand behind the product. You know, we've got and that's never a question, you know. And it's faith on both sides. I mean, 1,000 miles away, you know, they've got a breeding guarantee. If I have a problem with a bull, I call Mark, and there's no questions asked. But, you know, the volume and the quality is so important.
And we always feel like the quality is always getting better. They're always working at each year. These are better than this, and that, you know, it just goes on and on each year. So we're trying to prove we know they are also.
But if we need to buy 20 or 30 bulls and these are our EPD specs, I mean, we can get them. You know, I've got some other dear friends in the Angus business that are seed stock that I know could sell us some good bulls and do a great job. But, you know, can we get the volume, number one? But number two, how do you know, as I tell them, you know, the Gardners have been so good to us, there's no way we can, you know, that we're going to buy any bulls from anybody else. It's just not going to happen. And I think they really respect that. I said, you would not want me to leave you just because someone else was my friend, you know. So, and the numbers don't lie. I mean, we share our numbers with Mark. He looks at them. He sees our holes. You know, I genuinely think he cares about our progress. And we make decisions, and then we all live and die with the results. I mean, we can see the tangible results of our, you know, of our progress, and again, man, we just think it's a lot to do with, you know, with the guidance and the expertise and the knowledge that they've shared with us.